Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm so excited to see everybody today. I am just going to move my camera, hopefully a tad. Which button? Oh, so many buttons. Okay, maybe we'll just move my mat over. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm so excited to be here today with Scrapbook Cards today. It's always so much fun to come on over and share what's going on and what's exciting at Altenew. And I have some fun tips and tricks for you today. So even if you're an OG like me, you've been doing this for 30 years, and you're like, oh, I've seen it all. You haven't seen this. So I have something exciting to show you today. We're going to work with colored cardstock. So again, you may be like, I work with colored cardstock all the time. What's special about this? What's special about this is we're going to put it with our stencils, and we're going to use different colors on top of this beautiful colored cardstock. So I did have one issue that I will share with all of you today. I have lost my some of my cardstocks in the move. Like 30 packages of cardstock is missing, and vanilla cream unfortunately was in there. So I substituted Morning Frost, but everything else is the same. I also pulled out some pearl dots because I was getting my equipment out of the drawers and I saw those. And I'm like, oh, that might be gorgeous. Hi, Megan. Hi, Megan. I'm so excited to see you. And yes, I will be using a lot of brushes today. So I have the fabulous jelly behind the scenes as well. So we got lots of stuff going. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat. I'll do my best to catch them as they come. But let's get and let's just, as I call it, a play. Love to be able to have a play with you, my dear friends. How fun is that? Okay, so I have a card here. I know you guys are totally shocked. We're doing cards today, right? And blending. I'm pretty predictable with my blending. I love blending. So, and I'm okay with it because, it's just my favorite. This is the card we're going to make. We're also going to use the embossing folder that comes with this set. So just a little rundown. I have, of course, 3 different sizes of foam tape. They'll be used for different purposes there. You don't have to use foam tape on this project if you do not want to, okay? Then this is the press plate, the One Go sentiments. Now, there's a die that fits all 3 of these. Let me grab the die. I do not have the packaging. I apologize for the press plate. I test them, so I just get the plate. I don't get the packaging. But this is the Gratitude. This is the volume 3. So we're very excited to bring this one out. Great timing for those holiday cards in November or December when you need to say thank you to somebody for, maybe buying you some brushes or a new stamp wheel, or, you just want to say thanks there. And it does have a coordinating die. It's out of stock at the moment. It will be coming back in, so keep your eyes out for that. And this will cut all 3 of the solid sentiment strips, okay? And as you can see, all of the alignment, and then it just lines up like so. Run it through. Oh, sorry. Yep. Run it through like so. Oh, there we go. Because we're die cutting it, so it would be on the back. So lay it like this, and it will cut correctly, so you can see. I always look at that big fella to make sure he is matched up. So very excited about this coming into the shop. The sentiments on here, we have thankful for you. I owe you one. Sending thanks. I'm truly grateful. My favorite human. Love that one. Heartfelt thanks. Forever grateful. Thanks a million. Don't know what I would have done without you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for making my day. And my heart is filled with gratitude. So great sayings. And yes, Megan, it saves so much time, right? It's just wonderful. And the other great thing is with it cutting all at once, you line it up once, you cut it once, you don't have to worry about cutting those little fiddly sentiments, which we all love and we all cut. But this definitely does take some of the guesswork out of aligning it up. Very simple to line up and great results. So here's my heartfelt thanks was the one I was going to put, and it does go over my arrangement a little bit, but I'm okay with that, okay? And then this is, we're going to do this one in this Lunch and Learn quickly. I've already gone ahead and embossed this on white. because I wanted you to see the difference. I can say there's a difference, but when I show you there's a difference, I think it's a big, big difference. So beautiful, beautiful embossing folder. So excited to add this one to the stash. My dear friend Pam is allergic to mushrooms. So she put a bird over her mushrooms and it looked fantastic. So think of all the great things you can do with this. These beautiful leaves are fantastic. And then we have a stencil set. And I'll show you hopefully a quick tip trick with this as well, to really get more out of this stencil set and push it. So we have Woodland Path Simple Coloring Stencil, 3 stencils. They're 4 3/4 by 6. So let us get going. I've already run through my cardstock sentiments to save us some time there. I have some on white cardstock. I have some on Morning Frost cardstock. Even though, and I did these with Obsidian Pigment ink, there is no other ink when it comes to doing a press for me. When you want those elegant, crisp, bold look, you need Obsidian. It's the only black ink that I use, except for my artist marker coloring. All right, so we have those. I'm going to take a swig of my soda water. And the last thing on scene here is the beautiful Smoky Quartz Glitter cardstock, and I feel like it just adds a little something. So very pretty. This was done just using the stencils. Okay, just the stencils on this. So we're going to do that. Let's start there because I think people skip over this technique. And it's a very, very fun technique. And it's gives you a good effect. So I'm going to check. This is a 2. We are going to trim this down. This is a 2. And I'm using Morning Frost. But it would look beautiful on vanilla cream. I just cannot find mine. Yes, Megan. And I am so bad at it. Anybody else out there bad at hydrating? I'm just horrible. Oh, well, Barbara, I'm sorry golf got rained out, but I'm super stoked you're here with us. Okay, so we're going to have, A2 panel of that because we are going to trim it down to 5 by 3 3/4 in the end. So we'll go ahead. Let's get our sticky mat because sticky mats rule my world. I don't know about you guys, but this is the magic that makes my life happy. I'm going to put my card right here. And we will wiggle up just a little bit. And then I'm going to rotate it because silly me, I forgot we're going in the landscape position. You will need some stickies, some sticky notes, just to cover some spaces a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, I know I want my mushrooms on the bottom, but I also know that I'm going to trim this down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in the corner. So I've got my bottom left-hand corner is matching. All I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some satin masking tape. You might be saying, girlfriend, you got a sticky mat. What are you doing? Well, the sticky mat, my stencil covers my card panel, kind of. So, and the sticky mat's only holding on in the corner. And I want to make sure it's nice and snug. So I'm just going to add a little piece down here so nobody moves, because that's the worst thing when you are crafting and something moves on you. You're like, no. All right. Let's start. We're going to start. We'll do these in Forest Fern on stencil number 1. If you have this set and you're crafting along, I'm very excited to have you join me. My card just left me. You guys saw it, right? I had a card. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep this kind of, let's see if we can share the screen. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna keep that kind of there for now. All right. Here we go. Let's start. We're going to do Forest Fern. Now, you can put your ink pads on the sticky mat. It'll hold them. They won't move. I do recommend flipping your lid wrong side up, because if you put it down this way, look at all that ink on there that's going to go somewhere. You just know it's going to go the one place you don't want it to go. All right. So this has some, as I call them, fiddly bits to make this beautiful leaf arrangement. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my finger there, and then I'm going to start ink blending. Now I'm blending in the center, okay, really, really dark. Then I'm just going to lightly drag that out because it gives a nice dramatic look, okay? Then I'm going to do the same thing as we go down. our project. Okay, that stem I want really dark. The leaves I want so they're really light on the tips so they fade into the cardstock. Okay, and then on this one we're also going to do this set. Okay, this set's a little harder to do the fade, but I am going to attempt to get in here a little close. Then I'm going to add some detail just over in there. Okay, then down here we have one as well. So I'm just going to grab a sticky. I have them on my desk. I don't usually use stickies, but I have them here. So I'm going to put it here because I'm a messy blender. And then I have this one from earlier. And I'm going to make sure my colors are correct. So I just need to cover that. Okay. Then I can come in and blend as dark as I want to, AKA. Now remember, this cardstock this ink is a dye-based ink. So built right into the name is dye, right? D-Y-E. And so what that's doing is it's dyeing your cardstock. So you have to be patient with it and give it some time. That's also the thing I would recommend when you're ink blending. You may want to blend a little darker than you want because it is going to lighten a little bit, okay? So make sure you remember that. All right. And you can see I have different levels of fading on my branches. I'm okay with that. I want that because nature is not consistent. I know there are some folks that like color blocking. And by color blocking, what I mean is that they just want to go in and put it as a solid color. They don't want to leave the areas of lightness for that. And that's okay. If that's what you like to do, that is awesome. Then, you do you, make it beautiful, make it something you love and you're proud of. I am not a color blocker. It bothers my eye when I see it. I like to have areas of darkness and areas of light. I always say the darkness shows the light, right? So that gives us, so that we have the effect that we're trying to achieve. Because this is butternut that I'm going to. And looking for my butternut blender. Oh no, he's missing. Butternut, where did you go? Here he is. He's up in my mini ink blending storage. This makes my life so easy as well. Let me just move this and just bring this on so you guys can see. So I have all my stickers on my blending tools ready to go. So I just pick it out, put it back in, and it's all organized and I don't lose them, which is wonderful. All right, so we're going to go with butternut. This last one, the brown, was espresso. And you guys, these colors are listed. I did stick with them. And I just wanted to show you guys, may be looking like water hyacinth. Really? That's a choice, and it is. Now I'm going to switch to this. Oh, Kathy, you're so sweet. Oh my goodness. Oh, hugs, Kathy, hugs. Thank you so much. I love crafting, and I also love this community we have. I love to go out into the community and interact with all of the fabulous crafters out there. This just makes my heart so happy. I love, love, love teaching and sharing. So we have this. Now we're not coming back to this. So I'm going to add some pumpkin pie as well. You can see here, I've outlined already where my darkest inks are going to go. So when I come in with that, I'm not worried. The reason that I think that's a good tip, especially for beginners, is that if you outline where you want your darkest to go with your lighter colors, you can kind of start to see it. And if you don't like it, you haven't committed, you haven't added that super dark color that's really going to tell on you, essentially. All right, here we go. So I love rich color. And honestly, I didn't do this on the last one, but honestly, you could come in and add a little bit. I think we're going to do it. Espresso's here. You're here. I'm here. I have a blending brush. Why not? All right, so we're going to come in and just add very lightly. I'm going to pounce up here and get some of that ink off. Okay, and then I'm just really, really highlighting this because we do have a little leaf that's going to come behind here. And again, remember this is going to lighten, and I really don't want it to. I like this color that I've achieved, so I really want to work it and keep it. So that's where the espresso comes in. And if you liked it, you could stop at the pumpkin pie if you liked it there. All right, and then this one. Okay, and maybe a little bit more. I gravitate towards, I'm very heavy-handed, and then I gravitate, my eye loves the look of a dark color on here. Thank you so much, Megan. I knew they were somewhere in there. All right, okay, you ready for the first reveal? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, okay. Set that one to the side. We're going to stencil number 2. We'll do the same thing for the embossed one in just a minute, but this one, you can see there's etchings. Oh, sorry, you can see my lights, unfortunately. There's etchings on here. Here we go. Right there, you can kind of see them. There we go. There's etchings that are going to help me to align this. So I'm just going to pop this up. That's what makes it great and gives me the ability to do this. No, it's still kind of no line, right? But even though, because the embossing would give us lines, but you know. All right, so here we go again. We're diving in. I'm going to come in with the espresso again because we have to do our top on our acorn. Oh, I grabbed stencil 3. I thought this was later on. All right, that's okay. I grabbed stencil 3. No harm, no foul. All right, and then just lightly. I don't want the gray showing through, you know, like on my acorns, but I also don't want to make it so that it's so like a color blocking again. So it's a fine line. All right, so we on this one are going to use forest fern for all of the bits and bobs here. So we'll take forest fern and yep, that's a leaf. Just making sure. I like to go back and just have another look-see and be like, okay, yep, everything is, it makes me nervous. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm blending so I get that bottom because that's where I want it the darkest. Then these are kind of hard to do. They're kind of small, right? But I'm trying to add some good color on the sides with just using my mini on this one. I don't have a micro in this color, shockingly. All right, and then this again, fiddly bit. So I'm going to come in. Okay, and then I got over here. I don't think I did that other one on my other card. Then we'll come down, move the hands to hold the fiddly bits. And if you blend easy, like if you go in, not like me, like bull in the china shop, that's how I go in, you know, it's not going to move on you. I'm a bull in a china shop. I am a Taurus. So I think it's just how I approach things in life too. All right. So I'm just going and giving a first coat of this forest fern till I run out of ink. Then I grab some more. When I grab some more, I'm trying to stick to those areas that I know I want that darkest color. Then when I'm running out of ink, that's when I go to the areas I don't want that darkest color. So I want it right at the base. So it would be darker because things are laying over that there. Okay. So if something has something laying over it, it's going to be pretty dark. Okay. So there we go. That was stencil 3. I apologize, but you can see, this with that etching, it's so easy. Oh, look at that, you guys. Look at that. Oh, holy Toledo. All right. And then we're going to come in and I'm going to line this up again. And it's lining up pretty well. Remember how we put that in the left-hand corner? It's lining up pretty good. So that trick is working for this stencil set. Okay. Well, I love to watch blending. It's so soothing. Okay, here we go. And thank you for letting me take a swig of my orange vanilla. What is it? The flavored water. It's carbonated, but just flavored water. I don't even remember what it's called. Kids call it something. There's a word for it. I can't think of it. All right, so I'm using pumpkin pie first on my acorns because remember we used espresso on the top. So I don't want to use espresso again because that's going to too matchy-matchy, okay? And we're going to come over here as well to the mushrooms. And I'm going to add butternut to the whole thing, but I'm adding it a little darker where I know I'm going to want to put it darker. That leaf almost tricked me. Almost. Today, I beat the leaf. Oh, I didn't beat it in my original. Whoops. The leaf beat me on the other one. All right, here we go. Seltzer water. There it is. I couldn't think of it. All right, here we go. So we're adding pumpkin pie now to the, as my niece would probably call them, the corns. That's what she calls unicorns. So I don't know what she would call acorns. All right. Here we go. All right. And now I know that's a leaf. The other one I colored wrong. Oh, well, it's all right. Nobody will really pay attention. I looked at the card and I didn't notice it. So I'm hoping nobody else does. All right. This one, we're going to have some fun. Okay. Not that we haven't had fun to this point, but we are going to have some more fun. Fun, as my dad would say. We're going to use water hyacinth. Okay. And we're going to use charcoal soot. And with that, I know I'm getting hold the phone. We are doing what? So charcoal soot and water hyacinth. So we're going to go in with water hyacinth first. Okay. And these are fiddly again. So I'm going to try my hardest to not knock them around so that I don't get those. It just gives you really beautiful defined lines if you can not, be tough on your stencil. But if anything can survive me, it's tough. All right. So we got our water hyacinth, and that colored a little bit because I had ink on there. I'll just cover that up with a darker color. Okay. I'm going up here. All right, that one was a leaf this time, like it was supposed to be. All right. I really wanted to have 2 different colors of leaves on this project. I know, Altenew always has the best names. I just love the names. All right, then we're going to go charcoal soot. We're going to add where we would want it to be the darkest. And you might be looking at it going, oh my Lanta, what did she just do? And you would be where I was when I created this. Because I'm like, was this a bad decision? Was this bad? It looks pretty bad through the stencil to me. Like I looked at it and I'm like, oh goodness, what was I thinking? When you make a color choice and that happens, well, it happened on this. And then I'm going to show you what I did to make my eye like it and actually love it. I love this card. Super stoked with it. Okay, so there we go. We have everything on, right? And so you might be, oh gosh. Hello. Hello, everyone, as you're coming in. So I'm wiping it off. I'm not picking up my stencil. I'm just wiping it off, being careful to brush it away, right? Because if I get the gray and spots the grays in, it's okay. But I don't want to get the gray in with the yellow. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to come back in with water hyacinth and just go over it again. And what this is doing is it's making that charcoal soot darker because I'm adding more color over it. But it's also, as this blends out and as it goes to the paper in areas that I didn't add the charcoal soot, that water hyacinth is creating a beautiful border between the 2 colors. So you're not getting totally that dark gray line. you're getting where it blends out to this beautiful, soft, cool blue tone. Okay. So hopefully, I am selling you, I guess, on this. So here is our first one. Oh, and remember I got a little gray on there? No worries. I'm going to go back in and fix it. So I'm just going to lay this back down. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my pumpkin pie, which is my darkest of the yellows that I'm using, yellowy orange. And I'm just going to go over where that gray was. Okay, and then I'm going to go over the other one because I don't want to make that one look so much darker than the others. And I'm actually, because the acorns, the paper is getting dyed, it is soaking up that ink, doing a wonderful job, doing exactly what it's supposed to do, but I really wanted darker. So what I'm showing you as well is you don't have to have, all of these inks have 4 in their families, right? So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I took these all out, I would have 20 inks on my desk, okay? So butternut and pumpkin pie are in the same family, but everybody else is a different family. I don't need 20 inks. I can just work with the inks that I have and do little tricks. I know. I don't know. I don't know what we did. So there we go. I know, Barbara, I agree. And then I lifted this up and I was like, yes, yes, please. Yes, please. So I really was happy with the turnout of this. So let's go. Let's set this one aside. Okay. I want to show you a trick that I think is fun and you can do with a lot of Altenew stencils. And then we will move on to the embossed. We'll color the embossed panel. But I just wanted to show you this trick. Okay. So you have a piece of cardstock and I'm going to use this one here. Okay. And I'm still going to use the forest fern. So I'm going to grab my forest fern blending tool. Okay. And same thing we did previously. I'm going to go dark up the center. Nope. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself with the ink blending. That's okay. That's all right. Remember, these are going to soak into the paper. You just, if you have a whoopsie, like I kind of just did, you just want to make sure that your other leaves kind of match. You don't want like one super dark leaf and all the rest light. You want to match them on your project. So take this. Okay. So we got that. Very pretty. Now, honestly, I firmly believe you could just do this and have a beautiful, gorgeous card. So, you know, I think, oh, welcome, first time. Yay, welcome, Joan. Look how beautiful that would be as a card. That would be stunning. Okay. And if you want to, you could finish. Let me see. Because I want to get this where, just so I can get this little spot right here. So it's on there. So there. So my stem goes off my page now. Look how beautiful that is. I love a simple card. I think that's absolutely stunning. Maybe a little splatter. But so look at these leaves and see, what can I take? You know, what else can I do? So you could also, okay, if you want to have different leaves, let me, I got sentiments going everywhere. Everything's going everywhere here, but I'm creating, that's why it happens. So you can also come in let's say here. Okay. Now you have to be careful because down here I've got stuff going on that I don't necessarily want going on. So I'm just going to block those off. No biggie. Okay. And again, same thing. This one will be dark because it's under that one there. And you might be saying, uh-oh, there's a leaf there that you haven't put in. So then we will just put that leaf in as well. I got to get a micro brush for my forest fern color. I don't have one yet, but we have that. Okay. Then if you want to, you can come in and add this one, because this is the one that goes through it. You can add like the leaf in there if you wanted to. Okay. But I don't want to do that. So what I would do is, that's a perfect place for my sentiment right there. Putting that in there. Okay. And then you can just go along and finish your arrangement. We've got these other little leaves here that you could put in. Trying to see the best way to put them in so I get more of them. Okay, here we go. And yeah, Pam, I agree. This is a very versatile. If you like nature, you don't even have to like mushrooms. If you like nature, I was telling folks, Pam, about you using your bird to cover these up, the mushrooms. So I've got that. Okay. And then if you don't like what I kind of put there, you could do, a longer sentiment so that it goes through there. But really love this. Love the simplicity. And then you could flip the card panel, of course, and do these. But I would definitely stop here. I love this card. I think it's so much fun. Okay, so let's do the embossing folder just to show you on white. Okay, this time we're going to work on white cardstock. All right, and I'm just going to grab stencil number 1. And I'm going to leave my forest fern open because I'll be using that in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and get this aligned. Now we have lines, right? We have something to guide us. So I do hope you will try the, as I say, the no line stencil technique. I think it's an easy technique with some stencils. There are some it's harder, right? But you can try it and see how it works because I think it's just absolutely stunning. All right, here we go. So this gives you built-in texture right away, right? So that's a nice thing. I think there are pros and cons to embossing folders when you're looking at projects, right? Because if you have that soft, I just got a little up there. Okay. I got a little out of control. I should mask this off, but I don't. All right. Then we're going to come down with our mushrooms. Okay. Betsy! Hi, Betsy! Libby! Betsy and Libby! Hi, guys. So nice to quote unquote see you. All right, I got my butternut, so I'm going to take the bigger one here. I just got to be careful. And I'm okay. If this brown gets mixed in, it's okay. No shame in the game, friends. It's just color, right? Just color. Just a little extra oomph. All right, so we got that one. We're going to cover the forest fern. We're going to cover the butternuts. Then we're going to come into the pumpkin pie. And I'm going to add that to our mushroom. Now you can see there are obviously more depth and dimension already built in to the folder because when it goes through, it adds all these beautiful marks and lines, and love that. But you can also, on the stencil one that we did, you could take out your artist markers and add some detail as well. That would be beautiful. All right, and then again, we're going to do our acorns. But I do think it's worth seeing. Oh, and I missed. I am going to just grab a green here. My green may look weird because I have, it's just a random green one. So my green may not match, unfortunately. Or not too bad. There's a little bright there with the first one, but all right. This is one of my favorite colors, this forest fern. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, look at that, you guys. Look how gorgeous. Oh, I love that, Libby. Love that. Oh, all right. Okay, so I got that little thing, but I can put a gem there. I'm going to try, LOL, to be careful now. So the etchings will still help us, right? But now we also have the image of what we're doing. We can see it with our eyeballs here. All right, we're going to cover that up. I think this is my favorite thing I do at Altenew is lives. I love interacting with all of you and sharing tips and tricks and ideas and the products from Altenew. Love it. All right. And again, we can grab, since I do have a green one now that I grabbed, get really in there and add the color with the micro brushes. They have flat bristles. I prefer these to the detail ones. The detail ones are at an angle. It's an angled brush, but I really, really love the micros. There's two sizes in there, and I love them both equally. I can't pick one. All right, and then we got these over here. Just making sure. This one over here, we got to cover different section. We don't want our acorns going green. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to color the bottom. Oh, this was supposed to be my gray one. Okay, whoops. I did forest fern instead. At least I showed you guys the other one. What we can do, though, so because I made a mistake, I got too excited seeing everybody here. But it's okay. Really no mistake. Nobody's going to know. It's just different colors. But you'll still be able to see, even though my leaves are green here, you'll still be able to see like the effect. All right, so let's do this. So now we're going to take the charcoal soot, okay, and we're going to add it to that green. Okay, so this is going to give me a really nice dark color. And I didn't even clean my stencil. I'm not worried about it, right? Because the goal is to have them mingle. So this will be good. This will give you an example, a couple examples of what happens when you add darker colors. Now, I know a lot of folks are scared about adding the black. You could compromise, right, and add a gray instead. If you are scared of the black being overwhelming on your project, try a gray. This is the darkest gray in this family, but you know, you could go a little bit lighter. It may not show up as nice and effectively as this charcoal soot does. Yes, yep, it is a blending technique. A new feature, love it. It is a blending technique. Yep. So I usually go dark to light for my blending because I start out darkest and blend it out. But you know, most people you start with, because Altenew has 4 inks. So like these are the first 2 in the family. So you do butternut, then pumpkin pie. But when I talk about like lightest to darkest to lightest, I am meaning that when I go in blending, so let me show you here on the acorns. So I am going to come in with my lightest ink, okay? But I'm coming in and I'm putting it in the spots that I would want to be the darkest, okay? Let me I just don't want to pull any of that in here. Okay, here we go. So I'm putting, see how I'm using the lightest color of the family, but I'm coming in pretty dark. Oh, wrong way. Make sure your sticky's clean. You use it. Mine just turned green. That's okay. We'll roll. We'll roll. All right. So now I'm going to come in, add that little layer there. I'm going to come in with my pumpkin pie. Okay, and this one I'm going to add. Again, I'm coming in. This is the second ink in this family, but I'm coming in and I go dark and then I pull it out to light. But if it works better for you to do light to dark, that's okay too. Whatever way you get the best results. I just found I get a really good result this way that I am happy with. So that's why I do it this way. Okay, remember when you wipe off your stencil, do it very carefully and wipe the color towards the project. Meaning I'm wiping the green towards the green. I don't want to pull it into the mushrooms. Okay, and then, oh, I picked up some green. That's okay. Because we're going to add a little bit of brown on here. Okay, so we got butternut. Going to go into pumpkin pie. Okay, and then we're going to add a touch of espresso. Okay. Now, the reason I'm not adding the espresso to the acorns is simply because the top of the acorn has that espresso in it. And I don't want to have it look like one cohesive item. I want it to be separated. And then my brown, I went a little heavy-handed, shock. So I'm just going to blend out with a little bit more of the pumpkin pie. And it will be darker, but that's okay. And I'm just going to add a little bit while I'm here. Me with ink blending, it's always like, oh, I could add this here or that here. I could throw my ink on the floor. Please don't do that. Okay, so we're done with this stencil. Let's see how we did. Ooh, love. Look at that depth and color. And now we'll go to stencil 3. That's what I started with last time. I skipped 2. All right, so my trick doesn't work on this one because doesn't matter. I already have it embossed. So putting it in that lower left-hand corner is not something I have to do. And I'm going to just tape that right here. And again, I'm just going to use that forest fern. I have some on here. Might as well use it. Then just lightly blend it out. And that, we're going to blend that. And this. Now, another thing you can do as well, since we added that charcoal suit to the other leaves, we won't add them to these. So that way, even though you're using the same colors, so if you have a limited color palette, okay, that's how you can change it up, is you can add that color to one, but not to the other arrangement. And that will give you a different look. Okay, and then we're going to come in and we're going to add that acorn top. Then we're just going to put these together. We're doing pretty good. All right. Okay. Now, this is fun too when you have florals to leave that white space. Oh, yay. Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I am getting new lighting, guys. These lights are not the best I moved and these lights are not the best. So thank you, Sue, for letting me know. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We all need a little help sometimes. All right. So look at that. So this is where we're going to have a little get together talk, right? So when you take your card off, especially embossed panels, peel the sticky mat from your project, not your project from the sticky mat. Okay? That way it doesn't tear. So we're all set with a sticky mat. I'm going to just throw mine on my desk, literally. All right, let's trim this down. Okay. So my panel is 6 inches by 5 inches. So I'm just going to take 1/4 inch. Well, let's do this side first. Okay, 1/4 inch off this side. All right, that's pretty good. And all right, And actually, I'm going to take a little bit more because I'm going to go down to 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. And then, yep, that'll work-a-roo. Okay. Now, let's have a look at the projects, right? Move my stuff off my desk. Okay, so this is the one. I had not glued it together. Let me move all my brushes here. This is the one I had not glued together, but I did have the foam tape on the back of the project, and I would put foam tape onto the sentiment. But look at the difference you get just by taking that. We had that water hyacinth and that charcoal suit, and look how beautiful that ended up coming out. Let me move these over. I apologize if anybody else has vertigo. I have vertigo too, so it's a little tough sometimes. So this one, what you could do, you could add, fit into a frame. You could. This could fit into a little frame, a little, they have 4 by 6. What you could do is just mount it on some of the glitter cardstock, which I think would be absolutely gorgeous. But let me just lift this. So this is the sample. This is the one that we started out with. You can see this should be a leaf, but mine is just like a weird mushroom growing up into a leaf because I missed that one there. And then this one, okay, this had that 2-tone leaf color, right? And this one just had 1 tone of leaves. So definitely a different look. As well, not having that embossing creates a really soft look. You could come in, like I said, with your artist marker and add some details, some highlights in areas, and have some fun with that. But yeah, so this one, so we'll put thankful for you. And I really like this kind of place as a placement. Okay, so we've got those two. I'm more with the right. I like the right side a little bit better, but we're going to zoom out. So look away, look away. Okay, so we'll put this one up here. We'll put this one up here. And then look at this. We got this one too, right? And we could do this. I really don't like that. Let's see. I have all kinds of them over here. Let's see which one would I like to choose. Let's see. This might. Is that too chunky? No, that could work. I want to make sure that tip doesn't show. There we go. So that one could work for here. Okay. So this one. We got a couple minutes. Just one more second here. I have forest fern cardstock right over here. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to show you what it would look like so that you can see the options. So I hope something has inspired you today. And please check out that brush deal because the deal is crazy, crazy good. All right, so this is forest fern cardstock. Okay, and we'll cut 2 pieces because 4 1/4. We have the one up top. Okay, up there. So this one, I didn't trim that one down. That's a weird size. Need to trim it. I just took it out of my paper. I thought it was. All right, so it's 5 1/2. So we want 5 1/4. Because I don't want to cut off the bottom because I don't want to take away from my leaves. And then this one, it looks like a dot on the side. So I'm going to shave that little dot off. And then I will trim the rest off of. Oh, no, it is already short. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead. We will put some foam tape on the back of here. I finally found my Altenew scissors. Life is good. Now, if I can just find that paper. Oh, I hope to be moved in by 2027. Oh, goodness. It's been a wild, Mr. Toad's wild ride, so to speak. All right, so get some more tape. All right, and this is the 1-inch tape from Altenew. I love it because as you can see, you can space it nicely on your card panel. So I really, really like this. Now I'm going to be careful not to push too much on my tape because it's embossed. So I'm just lightly putting my tape on there. I don't need a lot this time. Just need this here. And that will suffice. And then I'm going to grab my 1/8 inch. See if my sentiment will fit. A great way to test your sentiment is just to lay it on there. Lay it on your foam tape. And that works. So we're just going to trim it to be a little bit shorter than the sentiment. And we'll pop that on the back. All right, so let's put our cards together now. Now, it also, color is important as well to when you put your card on the base, right? So just, don't forget that. Every step is important, I think, in making a handmade card, right? Because it's the colors you choose or, the embellishments you choose as well. So this one here, my tape went a little crooked, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. It's going onto white cardstock, so I don't think it'll show too bad. So this one we'll go ahead and put on here. Now, if I had another hour with you guys, I would show you how you could bring in the the shimmer paste. So here's this one. It looks beautiful on that forest fern. Let me just show you this one, what this would look like on forest fern. So see, just changing up the colors here gives you such a different look. I really love this smoky quartz frame. And I did something us OGs call gutting the paper, where you take out the center, because I can use that for lots of things. I can use lots of die cuts out of this one piece of paper, and nobody's going to know it's not there. But so that's very pretty too, as well on the forest fern. But I am going to leave mine on over there. And then this forest fern, we'll go ahead and put our one that we ink blended with no lines here. Patrick's going to have a field, or this is the leaf one, I'm sorry. Patrick's going to have a field day. I keep throwing those tape things on the floor. All right. And this isn't a perfect A2, but I'm okay with that. I'm not hating on that. And then we will go ahead and you guys, oh, there it is. I'm like, you guys just saw me with foam tape, right? Right. All right. And then we're going to pop this one down here. So we got 3 cards in under an hour. All right. I'm using my mat just to try to get my sentiment aligned as best as I can. And this one, if it feels too empty up at the top, you could definitely add some pearl dots. Okay. So the pearl dots are really stunning. We got that one on there. Let me just get my sentiment on here for this one. And I'm going to just use, because that other one was a little bit big. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim down the 1 inch. Oh, gotta trim it down again. That was still a little big. Anybody who knows me knows I love cutting little foam tape pieces, so that doesn't bother me. So there we go. I think that's like a 1/16 of an inch, but that's all right. It'll fit on my card beautifully. All right, so then this one we'll bring up. We'll get our heartfelt thanks. And for placement of my sentiment, I like where it's placed because it is going over the leaves a little bit. But what that says to me, when I receive this card, when I look at that, my eye feels like the sentiment was included. The sentiment was important. It wasn't an afterthought because it's right in there, right? It's right in the project and it's staying in there. So we can add these beautiful pearl dots if you would like to. Here, I'll add them to this one over here. So just get that there, put one there. I don't think about it too much because if I start thinking about these, I will spend way too much time on it. So I'm not really thinking. I'm just kind of placing them around. And we'll do another little one kind of up there. Ah, all right. Come on. Oh, goodness. Come on, big fella. There we go. Kind of there. So very pretty. I don't know that I would use the gold on this one. And then this one already has some shimmer. So I think I would leave that where they lie. The pearl dots are beautiful. You know, you could add those as well, the white. But those are the cards for the day, my dear friends. I thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear if you guys have a favorite out of the cards. I This one's growing on me. The addition of those pearls and the forest fern cardstock, it's growing on me, but I still do love this one. I love the subtle look of this one. So, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm Bridget at Altenew. I'm with Altenew. So you can find me out and about at Altenew Crafting. So if there's anything that I can do for you guys, please let me know. Thank you so much to Megan and Scrapbook Cards today for having me. I love doing this. It's so much fun to reach and craft with you guys and inspire and get inspiration from you also. So thank you so much. And thank you. I'm reading all of these comments. So I'm excited to see what one wins of the day. Thank you so much from all of us at Altenew for allowing us to help you craft your life. We'll see you all very soon. Goodbye, everybody.